Hi viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this session we have a Psalm of Life. Actually the poem, it is what the heart of the young man said to the psalmist. This poem is written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. This is a poem which explains about pure literature. What is literature? Literature is from life, and studying literature helps us to live better. So literature is from life and also literature is for life. That is the concept. Here we find the poet starting the first stanza. H.W. Longfellow, tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. It is in fact a young individual, young person, the narrator, asking a psalmist, and what is that? Tell me not in mournful numbers, mournful, sad. What is that? Life is but an empty dream. Life means nothing, an empty dream. Don't tell me that. That is why exclamation mark. For the soul is dead that slumbers. So what the poet intends here? The soul is dead that slumbers. Slumber sleeps. Never takes care of the time factor. Okay, and the things are not what they seem. So what the idea here? Life is but an empty dream for all those who are slumbering, who are sleeping. Okay, the individuals whose soul is not alert and the things are not what they seem, appear to be. So that is the intention. So what the poet is trying to tell, don't tell me in mournful numbers, sad tone and all. That is the first stanza. Moving further, life is real, life is earnest. So these two stanza concentrates on what is life, the concept of life. What is that? Second stanza, life is real. So for the poet H.W. Longfellow, life means real, actual, physical, it is happening. Life is earnest. It is a gift by the Almighty God who has given us an opportunity to live. So life means to live. And the grave is not its goal. Okay, so don't tell me. So it is a narrator is talking to psalmist. What is that? The grave is not its goal. So man is mortal. That concept is highlighted here. All living things have to die one day or the other. So what the poet is telling, grave is not its goal. No doubt. All individuals, all mortal human beings are mortal. No doubt. All living things have to die. But that is not the goal. Okay. So life means something precious, something more than what it is. So God has given. It is a gift given by the divine. Dust thou art, to dust returns. Thou art. So the old English art. So dust thou art. So you are made up of. So he is the poet is talking about the life, the individual. So what the poet is telling, all the human beings, they are made from the dust, and to dust they are returning. It is biblical. Okay. So we are a part and parcel of the nature. So from nature we came and we are returning back to the nature. Was not spoken of the soul. So what the poet, he starts to highlight on the life as well as the soul. Soul is not going to end. Soul is something which is eternal, which remains. Only the body, human body, will return back to the dust. This is what is the intention the poet is trying to tell. So the first two stanzas concentrates on what is life. Going further, H.W. Longfellow in the next two stanzas, what he is trying to tell, not enjoyment and not sorrow. So what is the purpose of life here on this earth? Why God has given us a chance to live like a human being? Not enjoyment, not sorrow. So what is that enjoyment? It is not only for happiness and not sorrow. Sad things, unexpected situations. Is our destined end our way? So the destiny. So what the poet is trying to highlight, not enjoyment, not sorrow, is our destined end our way. So what the poet is trying to tell, the purpose of life is something more than happiness or sadness. It is something more than that, something divine. There is a divine thought is there. What is that? But to act that each tomorrow. So act, the first important thought H.W. Longfellow is trying to tell, act. So we need to be very careful in our actions. Okay, every minute matters. Time is very important. But to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. So tomorrow and today. So what the poet is trying to tell now? So every day we need to improvise. We need to analyze, understand. Then what is that? To act. So based on our individual actions, situations, we have to act, and that each tomorrow, the next day, it will find us farther than today. Something better. So our perceptions should improve, change. Okay, we need to move forward for a successful, positive, fruitful end. Okay, next end. Art is long and time is fleeting. So now the concept of art. So you know that say for instance, the poet, a writer, an artist. So whatever they create from abstract, it becomes forever. It remains forever. Something beautiful. So what the poet is telling, the human life, God has given us enormous potentiality. So the art is long. Whether man lives or not, whatever created by man remains forever, and the time is fleeting. Time. So now the concept of time factor. So every human being, all living things are mortal. One day or the other they have to die, depart. So time is fleeting, running. fast moving, ticking, okay, our time. And our hearts also, see our hearts, though stout and brave. So every minute, that though we know that our time factor, we are going to moving away, like Shakespeare is telling, we are running away from death, unknowingly we are moving towards it that way. So time is fleeting, running away. Our hearts, though stout and brave, strong, we try to avoid all that time factor. Still, like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. So many a time, we will try to avoid death, the concept of death, or people carrying the dead to the graveyard. That part. See, still like muffled drums, we will try to hide. We'll try to underplay the concept of death. We never like to remember the concept of death. Time is fleeting. So in these two stanzas, the concept of time factor is being highlighted. Okay, our heart. So what the poet is trying to think, every individual, we need to concentrate, focus, whatever God has given us, the potentiality, the strength, enormous, our perceptions, we need to change, we need to improvise, and we need to move further. And time is fleeting, this concept is highlighted. So this is what is this H.W. Longfellow is trying to make himself understand. Moving further, in H.W. Longfellow's next two stanzas, in the world's broad field of battle. So the very concept of battle, life as a battle, life as a battlefield, okay, our everyday struggle. So in the world's broad field of battle, so in the bivouac of life, bivouac, a temporary shelter, like, okay, in the battlefield, that soldiers, they will have a temporary shelter. So our life also on this earth is just a temporary, okay. Our life is a battlefield, struggle from life to death. We need to struggle inside and out. In the bivouac of life, be not like dumb driven cattle, be a hero in this strife. So very beautifully the poet tries to analyze, very simple. What the thought is, in the world, so the entire world, if you consider as a stage where each individual is having an individual battle, the strife, a struggle. So in the bivouac of life, our temporary stay on this earth. Okay, we are all here for a purpose, for a reason that we need to analyze. Be not like dumb driven cattle. So we need to understand our potentiality. We should not just follow somebody and live like a copy, live like others. We need to try to find out our own individual thinking, and we need to move further. Okay, driven cattle. Be a hero in this life. Hero in all our stories, individual stories. We have to become our own. So we are the writers of our own stories. We are the individual who can create our own destiny. That's it. So what the poet is telling, in the world's broad field of battle, if you consider the entire world as a battlefield, bivouac of life, bivouac, a temporary shed, let us not live like a dumb driven cat. Let us have our own individual self, let us have our own individual thoughts, perceptions, where we can improvise and try to make a mark, where people can analyze that we can be hero in the strife of our own individual battles. Each individual matters. That's it. Then moving further, this is considered one of the best stanzas ever written in English literature, and we need to concentrate, focus on that. The entire poem, the main bottom line of this poem is here only. I will repeat. Trust no future, however pleasant. It is almost like H.W. Longfellow is giving us a formula of life, how to live a better life. Trust no future, however pleasant. Very beautifully. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. Heart within and God over. This is considered one of the best lines ever written in the English literature. It has been appreciated quite really well. So trust no future. See the concept of trust. So the poet is addressing to all those individuals, okay, who are disturbed in this world. Okay, trust no future. We should never think of the future. Future may be very much pleasant. See that, however pleasant, it may be so colorful, pleasant and all, but let the dead past bury its dead. See in the first two lines, future, which we have not seen, which we don't know, unknown. Next part, let the dead past bury its dead. We should not worry about the past also. And let us not focus on the future also. Then what else we have to, it is like a formula. What H.W. Longfellow is trying to tell. Act in the living present. So earlier also the concept of act has come now. Now act. We need to individually work. We need to put our heart and soul in whatever actions, whatever we are doing, okay, as an individual, whatever may be our professions, whatever may be God's gift, we need to tap that potentiality. Act in the living present. Very important. See in these three lines, future, past and present, all three are there. That we need to focus. For H.W. Longfellow, present matters, nothing else. Okay, he is least bothered about what may be the future. He is not even worrying about the past also. Same thing he is trying to convey. As a reader, as a student of literature, we need to focus only on that. So what is that? It is like a formula. Act in the living present. Living present, we need to live consciously. We need to take a decision consciously. Heart within and God overhead. Very important. So he is religious and he is God fearing. So what is that? Heart within. So we have to be courageous. We should know what we are doing. Okay, and we should focus on our own individual talents. We should not depend on anybody. Okay, so what is the idea here? Trust no future. Let us not worry about the future, and even the dead past also. Let it be. Let it disappear from our everyday situation. Only focus, concentrate, act in the living present. Very important. Living present, everyday moment. Everyday moment is very important for us. So the poet wants us to focus, concentrate only on the present. How? Heart within. Many a time, nobody will be there. We individually we have to take a call, internal call, and we need to move further. Okay, with whatever God has given our perceptions. Heart within, and of course God overhead. God will be there always blessing us. Okay, no matter what, all our good work, God will always bless us. This is what is all about in these two stanzas. So a positive approach for every individual. H.W. Longfellow is trying to tell us, need not have to worry about either the past or the coming future, which is unknown. Let us start thinking about the present by living in it. Okay, focusing on it day in, day out. Let us try to work out whatever God has given us, our perceptions, our individual talents, tapping our potentialities, and let us move forward for a better world or better living. Yeah. Earlier, H.W. Longfellow, how the past, forgetting the past and not worrying about the future, we have to concentrate, focus only on the present. Same thought continues further. The poet H.W. Longfellow wants us to give some more additional reinforcement. How to live a better life? What is that? Lives of great men all remind us we can make our life sublime. So trust no future, however present. That stands earlier, and this stands also equally important. So the entire central theme of the poem holds here. Lives of great men all remind us. So great men. In every field we will find celebrities. In every field we will find living legends. Okay, no doubt, wherever they may be, whatever country, state they belong to. Okay, we need to analyze that. We need to understand that. Why they are able to be this. See, in every field, for instance, okay, whatever may be the professions, we will find the best people will be there. Okay, so we need to try to analyze where exactly we stand. So that lives of great men all remind us, give us a message. What is that? We can make our life sublime. So whenever we are totally lost in the battle of life, whatever it is, struggling, we need to take inspiration from great men. So great men, we will find so many living legends. Okay, so we need to analyze them. We need to understand them. Okay, great people, how they are able to reach their perfection, pinnacles of success. We can make our life sublime. So what is the thought here? H.W. Longfellow is what is trying to tell. Looking at those great people, we can make our life also great. We can make our life also meaningful. That is the thought here. We have to take motivation, inspiration from all those great people, and we need to move further. And departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. These two are also considered one of the greatest lines ever written here. Departing. So we know that, consciously we know, one day we need to leave this place. One day we all have to disappear. We will only remain memories. So before that happen, leave behind us. So positive thoughts we need to leave behind us. So each of us, each individual, he is trying to focus on those disturbed souls, disturbed people, that, okay, individuals. Footprints on the sands of time. Footprints, our individual self, our individual appreciation, our individual hard work. So that we need to leave. Footprints. It is one of the very technically important idea H.W. Longfellow is trying to portray here. So we need to understand great men. So we have to take inspiration from those great men, what they have done, why they have become great, how they have become made, that we can make our life sublime, purified, holy, divine, okay, something perfection. Understand? So footprints. So how we can have our own footprints? It is possible only when we take a call from those great people who have achieved extraordinarily well in their professions. Moving further, same footprints that perhaps another. So why there is a necessity for making our life sublime? Why there is a necessity for making our life also really meaningful? This is the reason here. What is that? Footprints that perhaps another sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and a shipwrecked brother, seeing shall take heart again. So what is the interesting thought here? So today we may be in a disturbed state. Today we may be lost. Okay, so we are taking the help of those great men, achievers, who are successful people, and looking at those successful people, in getting the inspiration, motivation, we will make our life meaningful. And maybe one day our life may become an inspiration for others. Who is that? A forlorn and shipwrecked brother. Okay, seeing, okay, who are already lost. Maybe one day may come when we will be leaving our own footprints, and we will be an inspiration for others in this world, and that is very interesting. That is the purpose of life. What H.W. Longfellow is trying to tell: every individual, every human being on this earth are born, are here for a purpose. We need to understand that God has given us a life. We need to live it, and we have to make our life really meaningful. Okay, God has given us life for not wasting. Time is precious, but still we have to have our own footprints. It is possible only. Yeah, our life can. Longfellow's Xylem of Life. We have come to the extreme end. Last stanza. Let us see what is this all about. Let us then be up and doing. So let us. The poet considers the narrator as well as all the individuals. Let us, considering everybody, then be up and doing. Up. Let us not be lethargic. Let us come out of our slumber and let us be up and doing the hard work, doing the dedicated work. With a heart for any fate. Very interesting. So let us get ready for any fate, whatever may be our fate. Let us only focus on the work, concentrate on act in the living present, still achieving, still pursuing. Very interesting. Still achieving. Let us not worry about our failures. Let us not worry about our past instances. Let us not even think of the future also. Let us only concentrate on act in the living present, still achieving, still pursuing, continuing our goal, reaching perfections, understanding our potentialities, the purpose of life. Learn to labor and to wait. Very interesting. So let us all learn in our work of pursuing our hard work, pursuing our perfection. Learn in our life, everyday living. Learn to labor. Only work. Let us focus on, concentrate on our work and to wait. Let us wait patiently. Let us not worry about the success part. Only hard work God has given us, and let us concentrate, focus on our hard work only. So this is H.W. Longfellow, and that's it. W. Davis, in one of his poems, What's This Life? If full of care, there is no time to stand and stare. Rightly, he is telling that. So that also focuses on, we have to live in the present. What is that? Act in the living present, heart within and God over it. As H.W. Longfellow is telling, we all individuals in this world, in this life, human life, which is a gift of God, we have to act in the living present. We have to live in the present. Okay? And we have to make use of whatever God has given us. Heart within and God over it. Nobody will come to our rescue. We need to be individual self, understanding, tapping our own individual potentialities, and we have to move further. Okay, make our lives sublime, very important, worth living. So make our lives, so by our hard work only we have to make our lives sublime, holy, purified. We have to make it more and more meaningful, worth living. Okay, how it is possible? By our integrity and honesty and our hard work. That's all. Okay, that's what H.W. Longfellow is trying to tell. And leave footprints for another lost soul. Very interesting this. So what is our life here? Life becomes more and more meaningful only when we leave our footprints by our hard work, dedication, and our tapping our own individual self potentiality. Let us be up and doing for any fate. So finally it is a call given by H.W. Longfellow for all those youngsters who are lost or who seems to be disturbed in this world. What is that? Let us be up. Let us come out of our lethargy. Let us try to be more and more focused. Be doing for any fate. Let us face any fate, destiny, whatever it is. Our hard work can face any destiny. Pursue labor, hard work, and to wait. So perseverance and patience. This is the important thoughts, values being highlighted. Let us pursue labor and to wait. Very interestingly, the poet is trying to tell us. So the main theme in this poem is H.W. Longfellow tries to focus only on one thing. Let us try to focus on what we are doing, and let us try to take the initiation from the great lives already, the footprints. There are great names are there. So many people are there who are the living legends, who have done extraordinarily well in their personal life. We need to move further, taking a call internally and understand tapping our own potentiality, and we need to move further and make our life really meaningful. And that is the main theme of Xylem of Life. So let us individually work and let us move forward, and our life, let it be a footprint for others who are lost in future. That's it. In this poem, H.W. Longfellow's Xylem of Life, finally, it is almost like as it is in the picture, a shipwrecked man coming out, disturbed state, okay, searching for the footprints, okay. The poet is intending that our life also, we can make it meaningful. It is in our hands only, okay. Our fate is in our hands only. We need to understand it is an internal call. God has given us a huge, immense potentiality. It is ultimately our call. We need to move further, taking the help of the great lives who have already achieved extraordinarily well. Outstanding, great living legends are there. We need to analyze that, and we have to tap the hidden potentiality in each of us, and that we can make our life also really meaningful. We have to forget the past as well as not to worry about the future, but instead of that we need to act living in the present with God overhead and heart within, and that is the main theme of this poem, Psalm of Life. Okay, it is individual call. We all can be heroes in our own stories. Nobody will write our stories. We have to write our own stories. In each of our stories, we can be our own heroes, and that we need to analyze and understand, and that is the divine gift of life. That is the main purpose of life and living here. Okay, so this, the poem Psalm of Life, as well as H.W. Longfellow, is trying to stress only that part. So each of us have to work towards perfection, reaching pinnacles of success individually. That's it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.